Because I was born in Payson in the hospital on October 18th, 1933. Mother put my name in record as Howard Bert Peery. And then she said when they came home she decided to change that, but she never changed it in the history. My dad is Howard Peery. My mother is Dean Myers. Okay, I'm next to the oldest. My older brother was Richard. Dick, we called him. And then me, and then Beverly. Then there was Keith, my younger brother, and Susan. I look forward to seeing him and my family again. I remember the house we lived in Spring Lake was right down near the lake. And then we lived next door to that in another house. I was probably 2 or 3 when they moved to the next house. But while we were there at that place, we were acting up, I guess. Beverly and I and Dick. Mother got really upset with us. And she said, if you kids aren't gonna be good, I'm gonna just leave. And she put a bag of something over her shoulder on a stick, on like a broom handle. And there was a bag like there was food and stuff in it. And she started going out the backyard and going to climb up the hill there. And I remember us begging her to stop, not leave us, you know. She really had us fooled that day. And so she came back. I think we were pretty good for a while after that. But boy, I was pretty sure she really meant it. But anyway, that was before we moved to California. I was 9 years old when we went to California. We'd been there about 9 years, but after we got back from California, Dad bought another house up on the hill, an old brick house up there, and there was like an acre or 2 up there. And there was a big orchard, apple orchard, right next to it. It was part of our property. And they had a big tent, one of those canvas tents that they put up out there, and Dick and I would sleep out there in the wintertime, in the summertime. But when they decided to build a new home next to it, so they tore all the apple trees out. And that's where the house is now, the one we lived in clear up until I grew up and moved away. But it was a great place to grow up. Spring Lake was a special little place for anybody. And we would climb that mountain several times. I don't know if there's any places on it we haven't been when we were younger. And my mother would send me fishing with a bent needle, a safety pin. And she'd bend the hand. I'd say, Mom, haven't we got any fish hooks? No, this will do you all right. You just take this and go. I'd go down there and spend half a day trying to catch a fish. Never had any luck. But spending times were tough, I guess. But I remember trying to fish with one of those safety pins. Another thing we did was those old wash tubs, those round wash tubs that you guys are probably too young to even know about them, but they were, that's how we bathed in those. And the second or third person had to get bathed in the second-hand water. This is something I probably shouldn't even tell on camera. But I'm going to. But I must have only been 12 or 13. I had one lonely match in my pocket. And it was, you might say, burning a hole in my pocket because I wanted to strike it. Anyway, I was up on the foothills in Spring Lake. You get up on the hillside right there on the east side of town, up above the lake, and you can look down over the whole city, whole town, if you want to call it a town. But anyway, we were standing up in there, and a couple of my buddies were there with us, and I decided to strike this match and drop it on the ground. Big mistake. It started that grass just like it was gasoline. And there was a piece of tin, a good sized piece of tin right there. We hurried and grabbed it and had another one of the guys come running over. We laid it on top of the fire and then started tromping it like this. And the fire just went out from under the metal and just kept on going, and we were lost. We could not stop it. And it was really scary, you know. And we thought, oh, I did anyway. What am I going to do? And I just took off, went home. I didn't just stroll home. I ran home. I didn't know what was going to happen to me, but I couldn't deny that I had started the fire. And I went in the house and crawled under my bed in the bedroom. I don't know how long I stayed there, but my mother was in the house when I went running home and crawled under the bed. She never said a word to me, and I don't know for sure why. But later on, see, I told her. She said, well, I thought something like that. But the fire burned a lot of the hillside, but it never got up into the forest, which was a real good thing, because they had fire engines out there, and they put that fire out before it got up into the trees, because there was pine trees. As you get to the base of the hill, it's really a gradual climb like this, and then there's the mountains go like this. And they got it put out before it got up there.